The best homegrown country from coast to coast. It's the Canadian Country Showcase with Courtney Fielder.
It's Courtney Fielder. We're joined with no stranger to the Canadian Country Showcase. Joining us here, we have Eric Ethridge. How's it going, Eric?
It is going fantastic, Courtney. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thanks for joining us here today because you got some new music to share with the listeners here on the Canadian Country Showcase. A brand new song called Made in Mexico. What can you tell us about this one?
Yeah, this song is near and dear to my heart. I wanted to write a song about. So Kelsey and I, right before the pandemic, got married in Mexico. It was an awesome time, and I wanted to write a song about it. And I came across this idea. Well, for our wedding, we got these party favors made, and it was these Yetis that say on it, Kelsey and Eric Ethridge. And then our wedding date in Mexico, right on the back of it, it says "Made in Mexico." And I was like, man, that would be an awesome song title. And so that's kind of like how we got into the song "Made in Mexico," which is yeah. And then ever since that song, ever since we wrote that song, Cass and I have just been singing it. So it's been a few years, and we've just been singing. I'm like, you know what, we need to put this out, and the reception of it has just been awesome. So I appreciate you guys playing it.
So did you write this song then while you were in Mexico, or is this like an idea that you just kind of held off to and enjoyed like the wedding moments and everything?
Oh, this is after the fact. Yes, this is way after the fact. Yeah. So, no, but it was, I don't know, it was one of those synchronicities in life. You know what I mean? That just kind of happened that way. But yeah, it's, no, it's been good. And Mexico's kind of, we're hoping to go back actually, to kind of revisit after the last 3 years. As I don't know how much you've heard about our adventures living in a van, traveling across Canada and all that stuff. So we would love to go back and just like relive some of those moments in Mexico. But so we plan on doing that pretty soon.
What's one of your favorite things about like traveling in Mexico, or like your favorite like activity that you guys like to do there?
Honestly, I am just a huge fan of the beach. Growing up where I grew up in Ontario, I was like 5 minutes away from the beach, and so it's a little bit harder to get to water now that I'm in the prairies, but the mountains make up for it. So yeah, so even just like nothing crazy, really, but just making sure to spend time on the beach.
Definitely. And speaking about that too, the music video you have, it looks like there is a little bit of time spent on the beach.
Absolutely. Yep. So we, fun fact, we actually, it looks like I'm in Mexico in that video, or it looks like I'm on the beach somewhere. That's actually my hometown of Sarnia, Ontario.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's, and yeah, because we couldn't make it to Mexico in time. We were in between, flying, this summer was crazy just with shows flying around. And I was like, I was talking to my management and like, we got to do a video for this. We need a beach. I'm like, I'm going to be in Sarnia on this day. This is, it was actually like early October, so it was freezing on the beach. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, trying not to shiver. But yeah, we pulled it off. It was good.
You made it your own Mexico. There you go.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Now, I know you mentioned you were busy with tour schedules and everything last year. How was it for you to be back out full force on all this tours and everything?
Oh, it was so good. It was we had played some of the drive-in shows, done a lot of acoustic shows throughout the pandemic, but back in May of last year was our first like real full concert without plexiglass and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like it was just such a good feeling. It's one of those moments in life where I was always really grateful to have the opportunity to be on stage in front of people. That was like, I absolutely love doing that. It's one of my favorite things in the world. And it's still one of those things that you don't know what you have till it's gone, sort of like, you don't know what you're missing until you can't do it anymore. And so one thing I said to like my crew and everything was like, every time we go on stage, like got to play each show like it's our last show, because really we never know at this point. And it was just awesome. It was such an awesome experience to be able to go back out and do that again. So we got some shows lined up for next year, and those are coming in, which is very exciting.
Oh, that's awesome. And I want to take a step back to 2022. Like it was, like you said, a crazy busy year for you, including, I want to chat a little bit about Jelly Roll. Now, there's a song that you wrote that he sang. Like, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was crazy. So long story short, we it was actually Kelsey and I wrote the song with our other friend Richard Casper in Atlanta, Georgia. Richard's a good friend of ours, and he runs this amazing foundation. It's called Creative Vets. So he's his own story in and of itself. He's an incredible guy. He's in like Time magazine and stuff. But he was a U.S. Marine veteran, got blown up 3 times in Iraq and Afghanistan, and survived. But he had a brain injury, so from that he started this foundation where he used songwriting to help veterans recover from things like PTSD and trauma from war and all that stuff. So we have all kinds of opportunities to write with veterans kind of all over America. Actually, when we were living in Nashville, it was such a great opportunity. So Richard asked Kelsey and I to come with him to Atlanta and meet this veteran. His name was Charlie Merritt, and he was a quadriplegic, actually. So he had, and we wrote this song called Me Without You. And Charlie wanted to write this song for his caregivers, because he went from being like he was a U.S. Marine to being can't move his arms and legs, and his entire life was basically lived through his caregivers helping him do everything. So he wanted to write them a song to thank them. So that's where we came up with the song Me Without You. So we found out this was a few years ago, and then I guess I think what was it, October, November, we find out that at the Titans halftime show in Nashville, Jelly Roll is singing this song to Charlie as a surprise to him. And Jelly Roll messaged me and said, I thanked him, like, hey man, thanks for singing the song, like you did awesome. And he's like, yeah man, he's like, I'm gonna put it on my record. So we're like, whoa, pretty cool, pretty freaking cool.
That's awesome. So like when you're like songwriting then, and you get to have like all of these cool stories, like from sharing your own music to having artists like Jelly Roll singing on songs, like how does that feel for you to see that?
It's it's pretty surreal. It's pretty surreal, Courtney. It's all I can say is like, I feel very grateful, it's unexpected. I never expected. If you were to talk to me 10 years ago, none of this would be, I would not even dream of being, on the Canadian Country Spotlight with you. Like I would not, none of these things would have been on my radar. So it's still a little surreal taking it in. Just grateful for these opportunities, and it's definitely made life exciting and full of surprises. And so I just want to keep doing it.
Oh, that's awesome. And I know we're a month into 2023. What else is in store for you for this year?
Lots of things. So, well, first of all, shows coming up this summer, which are, I'm very excited for that. This year, actually, so we spent the last couple of years after I released my full record at the end of 2020, 2021, 2022, last year, working on all the new music. I kind of entered into a new phase of my life, at the beginning of 2020, I just got married. So I was a husband, and then I became a father. And what I wanted to write about changed, because I wanted to write music that was more relatable to me and where I was at in my stage of life now. And so that's what we've been working on, really, is Made in Mexico is the first of the many songs that are coming out this year. So there's going to be a lot of new music, a lot of new music videos, a lot of new things happening, actually.
Oh, that's awesome. Now you mentioned that like your songwriting and stuff kind of changed when you got married and you became a dad. Have you written a song for your son yet?
Actually, I have, and we just recorded it in Saskatchewan, Saskatoon actually, and it's almost done. So that is coming out very shortly, probably for the next few weeks. So I don't know if I can't really spoil it just yet, but yeah, check. I'll stay tuned into my social media and stuff, because it's going to be coming out on there. But it's funny that you asked that. That's the next one coming up.
Oh, that's awesome. I love to hear that. We're getting a little bit of an inside scoop here with you with that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be so cool, just like for your son to be able to like have that song as like a great memory that like his dad had got him a song and everything just for him.
Yeah, totally. It's the song. Yeah, absolutely. That was the idea behind it. It's such a powerfully like life-changing event to become a parent, and it's your priorities just change in an instant, it's, all of a sudden you think you have, life figured out somewhat, and then you have a kid, and you just love him more than anything, and it's like, okay, complete shift, right? And that's kind of what the song is about. It's called "To Be a Man," and it's just about it's I'll try to talk about it without getting emotional, but it's about just always being there for him, is like, and like anything he'll ever need, always gonna love him, and always be there for him. And it's like, as much as I'm teaching him to grow up, he's teaching me too, and it's really cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh.
Keep it together. Keep it together. Oh man.
We'll lighten it up. What's been the craziest thing that he's taught you then? Like, what's something like absolutely crazy that you never thought would have happened being a dad that he just kind of blew your mind away with? Like, I know I had a couple friends that kids, they shoved like little Lego heads up their nose and had to do like an emergency trip to go and try and get these little Lego heads out of their nose.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah, we haven't experienced that yet. Other than the obvious, like, he's definitely taught me patience. No, but so many things. Like, I think the first, like, Kelsey and I always joke because, like, he's 17 months now, so he's walking, he's talking, he's so intelligent. He's just learning a new word every day. It's crazy. He hasn't slept. We always say, like, he hasn't slept through the night in 17 months. Like, it's, he's taught me that I can operate on almost no sleep, which is good. But he's also shown me that, like, you think you know what love is, and then you have a kid, right? And it's just, you love something just more than you could have imagined. And so, yeah, you learn a lot about yourself becoming a parent too, like what you're good at, what you think you'll be good at, and then you find out you're not that great at. It's a continual learning process, right? So it's also helped me, like, being a parent has also really helped me be in the moment more. I find I'm the kind of person I'm doing like so many things at once. I'm thinking about music, writing songs, producing new music, like figuring out the show for next year, and social media and all those things. And then it really helps you slow down and just focus on the moment, being in the moment. So,
well, we won't keep it too much longer here, Eric. If there was one thing that you could say to those that are listening into the show this weekend about Made in Mexico, what would you say to them about the song?
This song is for any of you guys who are getting absolutely sick of winter and the snow. And if you're going on vacation this winter, this is your song. And if you're not going on vacation, throw this song on and put yourself in the mindset, put yourself on a beach, because the song is for you. So, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys listening and sharing this new tune.